The painful reason why Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner exited the Oscars when his former partner appeared on stage. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and updates. Timothee Chalamet had been waiting for this night for a very long time. The Oscars are the biggest stage for any actor, and for him, this year carried even more weight. His role as Bob Dylan in the much-talked-about movie A Complete Unknown had been praised all around the world. Critics had written glowing reviews about his performance, and many believed he had a real chance of winning the Academy Award for Best Actor. If he had won, it would not only have been the biggest achievement of his career so far, but it could also have been a history-making moment. For an actor still so young, it would have lifted him into a very small circle of legends who won at such an early stage in life. But despite the flashing cameras, the red carpet chaos, and the attention from every corner of Hollywood, Timothee's heart and mind were not only focused on the Golden Trophy. His real concern that evening was his girlfriend, Kylie Jenner. Kylie, who is known worldwide as a businesswoman, influencer, and reality TV personality, quietly joined Timothee at the event. She chose to let him shine on the carpet while she kept a low profile at first, but when the ceremony began inside the Dolby Theater, she sat right beside him in the front row. The two looked deeply connected, often holding hands, whispering to each other, and sharing smiles and kisses, while the glitz of Hollywood played out around them. For fans, it was yet another confirmation of how close and strong their relationship had grown since they first started dating in 2023. Things seemed perfect, but then something happened that no one expected. Right before the award for Best Costume Design was about to be announced, cameras caught Timothee leading Kylie out of the auditorium during a commercial break. He stood out in his striking yellow suit, and the moment did not go unnoticed by viewers at home or by those in attendance. Minutes later, when Lily Rose Depp, Timothee's former girlfriend, appeared on stage with Elle Fanning to present the award, people realized that Timothee and Kylie were nowhere to be found. Their empty seats told the story, and speculation immediately began to spread online. According to sources close to the couple, Timothee had chosen to step out with Kylie to avoid any unnecessary drama. Lily Rose is someone from his past, and even though their relationship ended years ago, Hollywood events often create uncomfortable situations when ex-partners cross paths. This time, though, the reason went deeper than awkwardness. Insiders revealed that Kylie was going through a very fragile moment in her life because of the sudden and heartbreaking death of her longtime hairstylist and close friend, Jesus Guerrero. Jesus had been more than just someone who worked with Kylie. He was one of her closest friends, a companion who had been by her side for almost 10 years. His passing at only 34 years old was described as shocking and unexpected. Kylie was devastated, struggling with grief and heartbreak, and even though she showed up to support Timothee, the loss was weighing heavily on her. A friend close to her explained that Kylie has always battled insecurity in settings where she feels judged or criticized, and the Oscars, filled with stars and cameras, made her feel out of place. The source explained that Kylie was also aware of the criticism she sometimes receives when she attends these kinds of events. Some people question why she should be there, since she is not part of the film industry. These voices often add to her insecurities, especially now when her emotions are already raw because of losing Jesus. Timothee, knowing this, wanted to shield her from any situation that could add more stress. If they had stayed seated while Lily Rose was on stage, every camera would have turned toward them to capture their reaction. Every glance, every facial expression would have been dissected by viewers, journalists, and fans online. The last thing Kylie needed was another round of gossip and speculation, especially while grieving. So Timothee did what he thought was best. He took her hand and walked her out of the auditorium before Lily Rose appeared, giving Kylie space and protecting her from the spotlight in that vulnerable moment. A fan video later appeared on TikTok showing them leaving, and people immediately started commenting, wondering why the couple had disappeared. When Paul Tazewell later went up to accept the Oscar for Best Costume Design for Wicked, Timothee's seat was still empty, confirming that they had missed that entire segment. The move sparked many conversations online. On platforms like Reddit, people debated the decision. Some fans found it strange, pointing out that Timothee had always said he and Lily Rose were on good terms and still friendly, so it looked odd that he left the room. Others, however, defended the couple, calling it a smart decision. They argued that avoiding the cameras during that specific moment was the most peaceful choice, since otherwise the media would have created endless stories about how Timothee reacted to seeing his ex. Meanwhile, Kylie herself had been publicly mourning the loss of her friend. On Instagram, she shared a heartfelt message for Jesus. In her tribute, she described him not just as her hairstylist, but as a source of love, laughter, and constant support in her life. She said he had a unique way of making even the hardest days feel lighter and admitted she could not imagine how she would have survived the past decade without him by her side. Her words painted a picture of deep friendship and an unbreakable bond that had now been cut far too soon. Earlier that same week, Kylie had spent most of her time with Jesus's family, comforting them and grieving together. Her pain was so strong that when Timothee attended the SAG Awards shortly before the Oscars, she chose not to go. Instead, Timothee brought his mother, Nicole Flender, as his date for that night, where he ended up winning the award for Best Actor for his role in A Complete Unknown. This alone showed how serious Timothee was about respecting Kylie's feelings and supporting her in the way she needed, even if it meant stepping into the spotlight without her by his side. Those who know Timothee well have often described him as protective and sensitive, someone who deeply values the emotions of the people closest to him. This night at the Oscars seemed to highlight exactly that. He could have chosen to stay and simply face the cameras, but instead, he decided to walk away with Kylie, showing her that she came first. In a world where fame often pushes celebrities to prioritize appearances, Timothee's choice showed a softer, more personal side. As soon as the story hit the internet, fans were divided in their reactions. Some people called it romantic and thoughtful, praising Timothee for putting Kylie's needs above the show. Others saw it as unnecessary, suggesting he should have stayed seated since both he and Lily Rose are professionals. But what many agreed on was that the gesture showed just how strong Timothee and Kylie's relationship has become. Hollywood couples are often criticized, speculated about, and judged under the constant lens of public attention. For Timothee and Kylie, who come from two very different worlds, one from the film industry and the other from reality television and business, the scrutiny has been even more intense. But moments like these show how much effort both of them are putting into making it work. For Kylie, this period has been one of the hardest she has faced in recent years. Losing someone as close as Jesus is the kind of heartbreak that takes a long time to heal. She admitted in her tribute that he had been her rock, someone she leaned on during both personal and professional challenges. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.